Irv Gotti has sadly passed away at the age of 54. I've interviewed him before, and he was a cool dude. I know his brother Chris, and we've kept in touch over the years. I've also had the chance to do multiple interviews with Ja Rule, and we've talked a lot over time. So, hearing the news about Irv was definitely sad. He had been dealing with health issues, and I believe he had a stroke. It was tough, and I know he was going through a lot. There was a moment when I posted a picture of him with a cane, and people were upset because no one knew he had suffered a stroke. I posted the photo when I saw him out and about, walking around. He wasn't bedridden or anything. He was wearing his gear, walking, and I felt it was important to make people aware of what he was going through. I wanted his fans to know, to pray for him, to send him love. It wasn't about making him look weak or vulnerable, but to let people know that he was in a tough spot. Then 50 Cent did what 50 does, trolling Irv. He posted a picture of himself with a hooker, making a joke about smoking on that Gotti pack, which many saw as a response to their past beef. To be fair, based on what I've heard, through interviews with detectives and other sources, 50 believes that Irv had a role in him getting shot 9 times. So, it makes sense why 50 would feel the way he does. If someone tried to kill me and they passed away before I did, I'd probably feel the same way. Now, if the roles were reversed, do I think Irv would have done the same? I don't think so. I interviewed him once, and he had some choice words for 50, but I remember him saying something controversial, like Satan might have saved 50, not God. He felt that with the way 50 disrespected his family and created chaos in the world, maybe it wasn't divine intervention saving him. It was a strong statement. But hey, 50's been through a lot. He took the shots, went through the recovery, and came out stronger. I can't say I'd act any differently if I were in his shoes. If someone tried to take me down and then passed away before me, yeah, I'd feel some way about it too. It's a tough situation. Speaking of 50 Cent, there's this infamous picture where he goes to the funeral of one of his biggest haters just to make sure he's really dead. It's an intense photo, and the caption reads, "Stopped by one of my biggest haters' funeral today just to make sure that person was dead. R.I.P. Bozo." That's how real the beef was for some people. This situation made me think of a time in high school when I was sucker punched and left bloody in front of everyone. Years later, I found out the guy who did that to me committed suicide. I felt weird about it. I realized I was still holding on to the idea of getting revenge or getting my get back, but then I felt petty and immature. He was gone, and I had to grow as a person. I couldn't get back what had happened, and the fact that he was dead didn't bring me peace. Back to Irv Gotti, though. He was such an accomplished musician and producer. He changed the game. He helped shape the careers of Ja Rule, Ashanti, and the whole Murder Inc. movement. He produced timeless hits that are still being played and are part of music history. Unfortunately, his legacy often gets overshadowed by the drama with 50 Cent. People talk more about their beef than the impact Irv had on music. And speaking of Ashanti and Ja Rule, I haven't seen much from Ashanti. She hasn't posted anything on Instagram since January 16th. Maybe she's keeping a low profile, especially with everything that went down. I also remember 50's comments about him and Ashanti from Drink Champs. It's messy, and she probably doesn't want to get caught up in it. Ja Rule, on the other hand, posted a heartfelt message for Irv saying, "Love you," with a broken heart and dove emoji. That's no surprise, as they've been through a lot together. The sad part is that Irv was only 54, which isn't that old. I'm 51 myself, and it hits close. I believe he had diabetes, and despite seeming in good shape, that's something you can't take lightly. Health problems can catch up with you, especially if you're not taking care of yourself consistently. You can't let up, even for a few months. It's a tough loss for his family, friends, and fans. Irv Gotti was a legend in his own right, and it's sad to see his story be overshadowed by so much negativity. Oh, Wack and Jim Jones. So we have two links. One link is Wack Addy dressing, Jim Jones, and then the other link is Jim Jones, who apparently was just at a very famous park in Compton with the Bloods. And he sent Wack a message. Gons, I shall read the Wack100 message. Or actually, yeah, click over. Listen, this is Wack speaking. Listen, scary-ass cooperating clown, let off you. But since you want to speak as if you called me out, bring your ass back, and we're going to play the game all the way out. That dead-end street is wide open. You're a rapper, you're not a gangster, ain't never been one. You're scared of the ending results. Stay in your lane before you find yourself in a situation. Now let the record reflect that Jim Jones was riding around in Compton with Wacko, who is Wax. Well, one of Wax's many enemies. Oh, word, aka that dude and Comp Man. Yeah, shout out, wait, they enemies. I don't think. So right, you might be thinking of a different Wacko. Okay. Yeah, no, there's white Wacko. That's a different whack. Ain't silly called Wacko Whack. Let's listen to this. Let's see what Jimmy had to say here. No hell. Music. Songs. Fire in the music. Back I remember, many years ago, not in this park, I had a birthday party, Enterprise Park. A lot of good times out here, west, music side. Right it the next. All right. So Jim said I just left LA for the Grams. I was there for 3 days, stayed an extra day so that I could shoot half my video in Compton at CEO Wacko, who I was just talking about. Was there, we were shooting for 6 hours. In Compton, this video was done in Gonzales Park, where I heard, "You're not allowed to go to anymore. Seems you have bigger fish to fry than little old me. You have a nice day, black man. Do something positive for your community instead of spewing so much hate in our culture." Joe, really though. What's Jim Jones? That's he called himself. Okay, I was riding around in a convertible 6 dudes, so we wasn't hard to spot. Okay, well, I mean, hey, I think he came here, went to that park, folks told him some things, and he left Departure. Man, no, he didn't Departure. They told him, like, man, that's and Neds can't come outside in the city, man, that you beefing with a ghost, dead armies. So what sparked the initial back-in for why I called Jim Jones a ride on Clubhouse 3 years ago many times? Yeah, he also did it the other day with me on the podcast. Right, H Cooperator. No. Right, it started off because some New York dudes was arguing with like Wack on Clubhouse about doing business with 69 Ian. So then Wack brought up a Jim Jones who is from New York, and he said, "You'll tolerate Jim Jones and like he's a rat." And that was like the first public instance of not. Is he from New York, but he's from 9 Trade Blood, the exact set that 69 had infiltrated and snitched on. Hey man, feel me? But, hey listen man, do I feel like Jim Jones and Wack will ever fight or get? No, I don't feel like they'll ever be in the same room. So I feel like I don't take it.